Today we're doing a different type of video. Why, you ask? Well, I am in love with alpha male TikToks. Today I invite you on a magical journey through a world of aspirational men that I look up to. They're rich, smart, strong-willed, and above all, they're freaking ripped. While this content can sometimes make you feel bad because you're none of those things, don't worry. The alphas are here to sell us solutions so we can be like them. How convenient. So, first off on our tour, we have the man of the hour, the recently viral Ashton Hall. Now that's a real man right there. I heard about this guy from Chris James, and then a couple of my friends made videos on him, and I am obsessed. Ashton has caught a lot of heat for how he features women, but I've got a bit of a spicy take on that coming up. Basically, he's known for videos showing off his insane lifestyle, and it's weirdly fascinating, and I want to be him so bad. Yup, you're seeing that right. He starts his morning routine at 3:53 a.m. Super cool. You'll find that a lot of alphas get up super early. It means they have control over themselves and they're ahead of everyone else. When you wake up, he's already like done with his day. 3:53 a.m. is not really a morning routine. It's a night routine, or it's a middle of the night routine. Ashton treats these blue bottles of Saratoga water like they're the fountain of youth. He rinses with it, drinks it, dunks his head in it constantly, and wouldn't touch tap water with a 10-foot pole. And whenever he's asked why, he has the perfect answer ready.
Why is it bad for you?
The faucet water?
Yeah.
Who's using? Why would I use faucet water if I don't have to?
Okay, so maybe not the best answer or the most scientific answer, but Ashton is still my man, okay? Anyway, the rest of this particular video is pretty normal. He does push-ups on the balcony, has a twerk break on the balcony, journals, watches his sermon, finally puts a shirt on 2 hours in, and just kind of has a normal day. Whoop, shirt off again. You jumped into the pool at 7:36 and landed in the water at 7:40. After he finally sits down by his computer to work at 9:05 a.m., 5 hours after he got up, a mysterious, faceless woman appears, delivers a fresh serving of iced Saratoga for another dunk, and cooks him breakfast. I first assumed that's his girlfriend or wife or whatever, but it seems she's an employee after what he said in an interview recently.
When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
High school. So I'm 29 now. It's been 12 years. Marriage is huge for me. I'm not gonna date anyone unless I know that I'm going to marry them, and I'm a very sure man when it comes to that.
So, what really sets the freaking sick Ashton Hall apart from other alphas in the field? It's this traditional, religious, romantic mindset. And it explains a lot of pretty weird stuff in this content. Let's get into the weird stuff. So yeah, the morning routine we've been watching has been pretty normal if you ignore the fact that he spends an Olympic-level amount of time just getting ready and doing some light exercise. As one commenter put it, 6 hours of goofing around. 48,000 likes. My boy Ashton got roasted, no! Or this one, bro did this once and never again. 436,000 likes, no! But a lot of Ashton's other videos are more amped up and come across like flexes or pampering fests for Ashton, the little baby boy. Ooh, Ashton, we gotta take care of you. Ashton needs help putting his clothes on. Ashton needs help picking up the glass from the bottle he dropped. Ashton needs help cooking. So far, all of these can be summarized with mom. Mom, can you clothe me and cook for me and help me clean? I'm an alpha male, Mom. But Ashton also needs a massage, a haircut, and a huge crew of people filming him as he runs for like, I don't know, 20 yards. Thank you. I think the weirdest part of this is that most of the things he gets help with doesn't seem to save him any time. It seems to me that the only reason he doesn't do it is that it wouldn't look cool on camera. But Ashton doubles down on the fact that this is his real routine, which is awesome.
You know, there's a couple fillers that we put in there that's a joke. But I would say like 95% of everything I do in my videos are what I do. It's truly organic to me.
It's like he wants to look so successful that he's a king, and the ratio of how many people are helping him with any normal task needs to be really high. Technically, he doesn't really need a lot of help. This brings us to one of the biggest contradictions I see in alpha males online. The friction between being all stoic and in control and the desperation to come across a certain way. Please think I'm cool. Please think I'm cool. Please. Oh man. But I gotta say, and I mean this genuinely, part of me does think he's cool. And that is what entertains me the most with the over-the-top alpha male content. Even though I can see the flexing, the posturing, and plain stupidity of these TikToks, they somehow speak to part of my monkey brain. It makes me laugh at my own nature. And I absolutely love to be surprised by weird, dumb things my brain does. So I'm not just being ironic here, I love alpha male content in a real way. Anyway, the things that cracks me up the most about Ashton is that the production value is off the charts, especially in the sound design. You won't see it spelled out in the captions, but Ashton talked about how he sees these videos in a recent interview.
Since I've been posting the ASMR videos, you know what ASMR is, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sounds.
just the sound design stuff.
Yeah, I was posting the ASMR videos and people just had so many comments about my day.
ASMR videos, of course, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I didn't think that earlier. I must have been distracted by the bubble muscles and nips. The sound design is so dialed in and satisfying, it's a huge part of the experience. But the real comedy gold to me is when they start switching out the real sound to sound effects and overdubbing. There's this pencil scratch when he's journaling and it feels like he's scribbling right onto my brain. Very much like the sound effect in Eminem's song Stand. And then there's this bit when he's at a restaurant. The place is clearly buzzing and loud, but suddenly all the background noise just vanishes and you can hear every little detail of every single thing that's happening. It's unintentionally hilarious and dumb, yet it's mesmerizing at the same time.
Stay on this side, the New York on that side. World famous Wagyu pastrami served with hospital. Our poppy outside. Any.
I also just noticed that you can see the check in one frame of the video. And I love it because it looks like he put in something, probably what he would usually have paid, and then he scribbled it out, and now it says $1,000. I just love it so much. Everything else is blurred too. I think they didn't want to show his details, so you can just see that he paid $1,000 for one meal. But my personal highlight is the balcony scenes. They're the best. The acting is so stiff and you can so clearly hear that it's been overdubbed. And because of that, the stuff he's saying becomes so transparently planned to come across a certain way. And it just makes it so lame. I love it.
Brother, what do you mean, how do I wake up at 3:50 a.m.? Listen, I go to sleep early because temptation lives late at night. I need you to lock in. Tomorrow, we gotta do at least 10,000.
It's so awkward and contrived. It loops right back to being funny and amazing. Here's some other pretty obvious sound replacements I thought were awesome. So anyway, Ashton Hall's videos, are they performative? Of course they are. Are they fake? Of course they are, but I still love them so much. It's so fun. I don't know, it's stupid. And my morning routine is actually very similar to Ashton's. Sunscreen for protecting my delicate skin is paramount. Just like how today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN, keeps me secure and protected when browsing the web on unlimited devices. Surfshark is a powerful app and browser extension, almost as powerful as my bicep after I stimulate its hypertrophy with my bicep brush. Surfshark protects your identity with encryption between your device and the internet, keeping you secure from hackers and tracking when on public Wi-Fi, keeping what's private, private.
Brother, what do you mean? How do I wake up at 3:50 a.m.?
Listen, since I got Surfshark VPN, I have one-click location change, access to all of the shows that aren't in my country. There are 365 episodes of the Teletubbies. They're 25 to 30 minutes long. I need 152 hours to get through it. Starting tomorrow, I need you to lock in on the Teletubby grind.
Dear Diary, Surfshark also offers Surfshark Alert that notifies you the moment your personal data gets leaked online.
So go to surfshark.com/Rumi or use code Rumi at checkout for 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. And thank you, Surfshark, for letting me make that ad. Before we move on, quick question. Is this luxury or is this just a man who refuses to fetch his own objects? Because Ashton's videos blur that line, especially when women are involved. So I audited his 13 most popular TikToks like any normal, mentally stable person would that has a lot of things going for them. Here are my final numbers. 29 tasks done by men and 48 tasks done by women. And 41 of those those were by the same person, his faceless assistant. She cooks, she hands him slippers, water, sunglasses, cleans up broken glass, licks his feet. Oh, not that one, probably. Some of it is skilled work. Her cooking looks great, but most of it feels like she was hired to make sure Ashton doesn't move an inch to get an object. It's less high-performance lifestyle and more grown man playing royalty in his apartment. Now, let's imagine it was a man doing all of this for Ashton. It would feel off, right? Too intimate, too submissive, too what are we, you know? That contrast says a lot. When a woman does it, it stops looking weird and starts looking like a luxury ad. Still, some people see this and immediately start constructing a guillotine.
It's like violent misogyny. Women are here to be your slave.
To serve you, yeah, right, exactly, to be a slave.
Okay, relax, guys. No one is getting whipped here. They're putting that behind a paywall. But there is a more nuanced point here, I think. The assistant's role is intimate and one-sided. But in Ashton's world, everyone serves him. Men, women, camera crews, the wind probably, just blowing a little bit extra on his chiseled body. The men do a job, but the women's tasks turn into lingering moments in devotion to Ashton. The men make him look rich, and the women make him look worshipped. And that is kind of weird. Okay, let's have fun. Let's more alphas. Smooth segue incoming. Ashton Hall says he dunks his face in ice water first thing every morning because he wants to kick off the day with something he absolutely hates. A classic move in alpha circles. But if you think that's hardcore, wait until you meet our next awesome alpha male. Introducing David Goggins. Be prepared for some swear words. It would be impossible to understand if I bleeped all of it, so you've been warned.
You're just a bitch. Honestly, that's not me trying to be some after school special shit. You really are a bitch. Real men ain't doing it. Real men don't care about that gossipy bullshit. Get to work, man.
What you just saw was the start of a so-called grind set TikTok. The first time I saw this, I started laughing because of the reaction I had. My inner monkey man was fired up! Jeez. It's got aggression, ominous music, swearing, and an ego-killing message. It's such a masterclass in this type of video. It gives me goosebumps. But these videos aren't posted by David Goggins. Instead, it's random people combining out-of-context clips to shock you out of your inertia and jolt you into getting on that grind and locking in. That's you right there. And if there is a grind set mascot, it's definitely David Goggins. He just needs some cute paws and he would be plushie ready. I would buy it. Sleep with him next to me.
I know why you go on Instagram. I know why because you just have the time. You have the time because you don't want to put that time into bettering oneself.
I mean, ouch! You got me. You probably won't faint from shock when I tell you that David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL, a military man. The guy oozes of drill sergeant energy, but this is where he is different from a lot of other alphas. He's not out here promising you a Lamborghini, a mansion, or a line of admirers if you just embrace the grind.
Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived.
Just referencing my life goals list. People don't like me. Check. People don't understand me. Check. People question everything I do. Check. That's all I ever wanted. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want people to like me. Goggins could not care less about that. His whole deal is basically, what's the hardest thing I could possibly do right now? Cool, let's do that. Twice. Here's a list of insane challenges he has gone through. So yeah, Goggins is a character, a very interesting one. If there is a problem with him, I would say it's this. Goggins has a lot of very toxic self-talk.
You're a fat piece of shit, and that's the reality of it.
He uses that as fuel and crushes that self-loathing every day by pushing himself. But what we tell ourselves has a tendency to not stay just self-talk. So that same brutal voice that Goggins uses on himself slips into how he talks about and views others.
That's why there's a lot of average, and it makes me so fucking mad. Every day I walk this earth and I see average all over the fucking place. Every day you wake up, like he says, not like get the coffee, make the pancakes, kiss the girl, kiss the kids. You wake up, right to work. Immediately your mind is in action.
Gotta get this right. Okay, so kissing girlfriend is bad. Kissing the kids also bad. Pancakes are Satan. Basically, Goggins thinks that comfort is a smokescreen for your real self. Comfort is useless if you don't have self-respect. And you can only get self-respect by doing stuff that you hate, building yourself up.
Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You didn't do it. You didn't do shit. You may have lived a great life, man, but you're always gonna feel empty inside. I don't feel empty.
Goggins' perspective helps a lot of people. It might seem extreme or toxic or just offensive, just how much he swears or whatever. I think it's important to realize that this is a very specific philosophical framework. It's a system of belief built on the idea that mastering your brain is the most important thing in life. Not improving your situation, caring for others, or getting what you want. And you need to buy into that in order to really accept everything that he says. But outside of that, even as just an inspiration, I think he's awesome. He's extreme to the level of a cartoon. And to me, that makes his content unintentionally funny and inspirational at the same time. I love it so much. Here he describes the reason why he started this whole extreme journey.
Because what happened is I became haunted by the mere fact that this is my existence. I'm 16, 17, I can't read, I can't write. My brain is about being depressed, and my dad beat my mom's not home, and kids are calling me at school, and I'm like, oh my God, man, what the fuck do I do? And it wasn't like someone came around and said, hey, man, you can do this. This is all me. Some people know, where's this cold man come from? I'm not trying to be cold. It's the reality of my life. It's the reality of a lot of people's lives.
And especially for the people who feel like their lives are a dumpster fire and they can't stand themselves, like how Goggins did, there's some good stuff here. It's not for everyone, but I think Goggins is such an inspiring person and a good alpha. Thumbs up from me. Woo! This guy is so freaking awesome.
What you're doing when you're reading a book is you are extracting the thought and the energy of the author. I would be a fool.
I first saw Luke in Chad's video. Her videos are not bad. But actually, some of the funniest videos on this site, I think. So go check her out after this video. Don't go! Luke Belmar is more of a financial alpha. He originally made his money from drop shipping. Basically, he'd slap his brand on generic stuff, sell it for way more than it's worth, and pocket the difference. Now that's business. Luke mainly sold home goods and pet products through Facebook ads, but his real trick was using fake accounts to stir up drama in the comments, gaming the Facebook algorithm into boosting his ads. And I know what you're thinking. Fake accounts? That can't be allowed. And no, it isn't. This guy is so sick. Dropshipping is already a gray area, and add a little bit of rule-breaking manipulation. Stop right there! And it's obvious. Belmar didn't build his career on value. He built it by cheating the system, extracting value from others without adding any. And that pattern, strategic fakery dressed up as genius, still runs through what he does today. There's no verification that Luke is as financially successful as he says he is. It's all claims and vibes, but that's really beside the point to me. What I love about Luke is the way he talks in this pretend TED Talky way about things he clearly knows very little about. It's the best.
To learn how to think, I would give people a simple book. There's a book called The Art of Self-Learning.
All right, class, he's finally about to teach us how to think. Brace yourselves. This is gonna be like in The Matrix. I love the way he says, I would give people a simple book. Just say you recommend a book, bro. You're saying it like a distributing sacred scrolls to the cavemen. Also, that book isn't even called that, Luke.
The Art of Self-Learning.
It's mind-blowing. He starts out his how to think lesson by getting the title of the book wrong. We're in great hands, guys. If this guy did financial advice, I would be signing up immediately.
Before learning how to think, you have to learn how to learn.
And before learning how to learn, you have to learn how to focus. And before you learn how to focus, you have to learn how to breathe. And before you can breathe, you have to learn how to be bored.
Right? Just because you were taught in school how to read a book or that you had to memorize something doesn't necessarily mean that that was the way or the only way of learning.
Luke's spiel here is like if a fortune cookie got 10 extra minutes of runtime.
Just because you memorized something doesn't mean you learned it.
That's deep, bro. Everyone who has ever studied literally anything already knows that. So getting it delivered in this quasi-intellectual way is wild.
For example, people look at mathematics. They see mathematics as a form of problem solving.
This is such a classic Luke Belmar moment. No one says mathematics unless you're British or trying way too hard. Just say math, Luke. You're not in a TED Talk, you're in a TikTok. Learn the difference.
But what if mathematics is not a form of problem solving? What if it's just a language? And you study these things as a language and you develop it as a language skill. So maybe you just have to learn differently.
For someone who likes to yap about books, he sure sounds like someone who's never read one. But I would believe it if he said he skims a dictionary before filming a video. So there's nothing technically wrong with what he says. It's just super basic, incomplete, and posturing like it's revelatory. He tosses out like half a common concept, acts like it's profound, and then explains nothing. He doesn't teach ideas. He's name-dropping them. So awesome.
Alcohol is no longer what it used to be.
Okay, so we're starting off strong with this title text.
Alcohol is made of chemicals.
I wonder if there's any ethanol in it. Next up, Luke Belmore reveals that salt actually contains sodium and chloride. Stunning revelations ahead.
Do you know Fireball? It's like a cinnamon drink that they have in the US.
Fireball is available worldwide. It's the champagne of gas stations. It's the toilet water of shots. It's what you buy on your first night out and never again.
The ingredients in the US are different than the ingredients in Europe. So it has formaldehyde, which is the coolant that they use for air conditioning. I was like, oh yeah, no wonder it burns.
I love this take that he said so confidently and that 581,000 people click like on. It's so wrong. It's like hard to explain how wrong it is. First off, formaldehyde is not a coolant used in air conditioning. At room temperature, it's a toxic, flammable gas that gives you cancer. It's used in, for example, chemical manufacturing, which sounds worse, right? But secondly, there is no formaldehyde in Fireball. If you look at news stories about this, it's actually propylene glycol, which is an FDA-approved food additive. A batch intended for the US was accidentally shipped to Europe, which has stricter limits on this particular additive, so that batch was recalled. But thirdly, Fireball doesn't even use that chemical anymore! Ah! They changed their recipe in 2018, 7 years ago. But propylene glycol is still in a bunch of other things like Colgate toothpaste and a bunch of soft drinks. But that doesn't even matter because it's considered safe. So Belmar was wrong about what chemical was in Fireball, what formaldehyde is used for, and by extension, what propylene glycol is used for. And even if any of that was true, Fireball doesn't even use it anymore. Okay, so while I don't think Luke has been this dumb on purpose, I do think his obnoxious persona, to some extent, is doing what his fake Facebook comments did in his dropshipping days, farming engagement and gaming the algorithms. Outrage marketing, just like how Ashton Hall says he throws in a couple joke ones in there to troll for comments. But in Belmore's case, I think it's also a type of self-filtering lifted from literal scams, like those deep-faked testimonial videos that go on and on and on before they actually tell you to buy, because the people who think he's smart from these videos and follow him from them likely don't have strong critical thinking skills, meaning he can easily sell them things of dubious value, like an expensive recurring membership to an entrepreneur club. At the same time, those who have critical thinking skills might still comment, because it's dumb and wrong, boosting the engagement. Bam! A lucrative sales funnel and virality built off the backs of people who are triggered by his pompous antics. I gotta say, in a way, and in a very narrow scope, it's smart. If he weren't so deeply embedded in the worst parts of the alpha sphere, I might almost respect the grift. Okay guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. I found so much more alpha stuff I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have time for it. So let me know if you want a sequel with stuff like dating advice from alphas or the extremely cringy part of the grinded culture. I also wanted to go a little bit deeper on what I think the problems are that guys are going to alpha men content to deal with. But yeah, didn't have any time. Huge thanks to my patrons here, Roland, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is not about music, but you know what. Okay, bye. Hope you enjoyed it anyway.